Probably one of my favorite songs on this fancy playlist at number 19. Laid back record, but it never became big over here. I kind of marvel at it. 20 years later, a song that probably should have been a hit over here in the States. It certainly hit over in Canada. Her name is Amanda Marshall, another one of these singer-songwriters that arose back in the mid-90s. But unlike Alanis Morissette, Jewel, and Paula Cole, she never got really big here in the States. Amanda Marshall from Toronto, Canada, with Birmingham, singing about Birmingham, Alabama, which is just an hour away from here. Here in the state of Alabama. The stars fell on Alabama. Mr. Deejay here on a cold. It was December the 1st, 2016. 20 years later after this song came out, I remember coming home from work and watching this video on VH1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And this was back when VH1 and MTV, they were still playing videos at least late at night before the reality TV shows just completely took over. Amanda Marshall from Birmingham, well, actually from Toronto, way up north in Canada, and she was doing the bar scene. She was singing in the bar scene. It was the Queen Street West scene in Toronto, Canada, when she was discovered by Jeff Healey. Jeff Healey, the blind jazz pop musician from Canada, had that hit with Angel Eyes in 1989. He discovered her. He found her voice so powerful that he took her out to tour with him for a number of years. 1991, she signed up with Metal I believe it's Metablade Records, 1991, but they were not a fit. It just didn't work out. But she got a big deal. Gosh, dog, she got a break when she signed with Epic in 1994. Her debut album was Amanda Marshall. She had four, was it four or six? I believe it was four top 40, no, six top 40 hits off this album in Canada. None of them impacted here in the States. Nothing. I don't think anybody here in the States have ever heard of Amanda Marshall. That's a shame. Birmingham was kind of a lovely record. Well, the music and her singing, as far as the subject content is concerned, boy, it was very, very grim. It's about a woman who was abused by her husband, domestic abuse. The husband, his name was Virgil Spencer, and she got away from him. She said, I got to get out of here. And she did. She got away from him when he passed out at 3 o'clock in the morning with a bottle of Jim Beam in his hands. And she got the heck out of the house and just started driving away from Birmingham. Here's a lyric from the song. And there's a little interesting aside on this record, too. It's 3 a.m. and Virgil's passed out on the sofa. A fifth of Jim Beam on the floor. She packed her bags. She slips the keys out of his pocket. She's careful not to slam the door. And as he drives, she rubs her rosary. She's never been so alone. She's never felt so free. She's got miles to go, blind faith and hope, 'cause there's another chance and a someday soon. Shining like the Alabama moon, she's looking for the promised land, out beyond the lights of Birmingham. But here's an interesting part of this lyric here. Check this out. Virgil Spencer's got a 19-inch Hitachi, I believe that's how you pronounce the word, and many demons lingering. Brilliant line. Friday night, he pulled a gun to change the channel, something that he picked up from the king. That is brilliant. That is an allusion to Elvis. Elvis had these mood swings. Well, later on in his career, back in the 70s, when he'd see something on television that would piss him off, and he'd pick up his revolver and shoot it. That was just a brilliant aside right there. Well, I believe that's all I got to say about Amanda Marshall. Oh, one other thing about this. I did a little research on the guy who produced this record. David Tyson, he produced. Remember the song Black Velvet by Atlanta Miles? He co-produced that record. That was a big one for Atlanta Miles. God, I remember that. Back in the spring of 1990, that thing went to number one. Might have been the winter and spring of 1990, but it doesn't make any difference. It was back in 1990. Well, at number 19, up one from number 20, gosh dog it, I just looked back on it. I could see the video right there in front of me. I could actually see myself 20 years ago sitting down in that recliner and watching that video on VH1. 20 years ago, like it was yesterday. Well, isn't that marvelous? Amanda Marshall at number 19 with Birmingham. Fantasy playlist of October 26, 1996.